Every day on the roadways in the U.S. there are accidents that involve motor vehicles. Start over. Every day on the roadways in the U.S. there are accidents that involve commercial motor vehicles, or CMVs, and passenger vehicles. 2 out of every 5 accidents results in at least 1 fatality. The fatality is usually the occupant of a passenger vehicle. In 2009, 2 million accidents involving CMVs and passenger vehicles resulted in serious injury or fatalities. 86% of all these accidents were proven to be the fault of the driver of the passenger vehicle. Research suggests that the number of fatal accidents involving commercial motor vehicles and passenger vehicles will decrease when the drivers of the passenger vehicles recognize that CMVs pose hazards because of their size, limited visibility, and inability to make sudden moves. The large size of a commercial motor vehicle poses numerous risks on U.S. roadways. A commercial motor vehicle can legally weigh up to 80,000 pounds. However, they may be permitted to weigh more. A fully loaded CMV can weigh up to 20 times more than the average mid-sized passenger vehicle. Due to the weight of the CMV and its load, it will take the average CMV up to 9 times longer to accelerate and even longer to decelerate. The average CMV is anywhere between 70 and 80 feet long and is 8 feet 6 inches wide and 13 feet 6 inches tall. As with the weight, a CMV and its load may be permitted to go over these dimensions. The length and width of a CMV requires more room for most maneuvers, such as changing lanes, turning, and parking. Turning at intersections is the biggest issue for most CMVs because of the narrower lanes and because of the amount of drivers that pull into the turning path of a CMV. Permitted overdimensional loads require more space to maneuver than legal loads and present bigger risks to both the driver and the motoring public. Drivers of CMVs have very limited visibility around their tractor-trailers. These areas are called blind spots and are extremely dangerous for any vehicle to be driving in. A blind spot is the area of the unit that the driver cannot see either with his eyes or when looking in a mirror placed on the exterior of his unit. Most trucks have 5 main blind areas. These are 25 to 50 feet directly behind the truck, 6 to 8 feet on both sides of the cab to the side of the road, the entire right side of the CMV, 10 to 20 feet in front of the truck, and 6 to 8 feet behind the driver's side door. This diagram shows all the no zones. These are the areas that the driver of the CMV cannot see. Driving or hanging around in these zones pose the biggest hazard for passenger vehicles. 68% of all accidents that occur are due to the smaller vehicle being in a no zone. As you can see by the diagram, the blue car is driving in a safe area of the trailer. However, if the blue car moved up to the blind area near the door and the driver of the truck attempted to change lanes, clearly there would be an accident. This driver has no way of seeing or knowing if a vehicle is in the space, and an accident can occur if the driver switches lanes or has to maneuver the unit suddenly into another lane. This is also how 35% of all the fatal accidents occur between CMVs and passenger vehicles. A commercial motor vehicle does not have the ability to make quick stops and sudden maneuvers. The size and weight of a CMV does not allow for the driver to make sudden and quick maneuvers without the possibility of fatal consequences either to the driver or to the occupants of the other vehicle. A sudden jerk in the wheel to avoid another vehicle could result in the load shifting and overturning the tractor and trailer, or in some cases the load falling off of the trailer and landing on a vehicle. A sudden stop could cause the trailer brakes to lock up, sending the trailer skidding out of control and hitting whatever in its path. This is also known as jackknifing the semi-trailer. Semis also need plenty of distance for stopping. They actually require about the length of a football field to stop if they are traveling 55 miles per hour. The space the drivers leave between their CMV and the car in front of them is there for stopping. Many times the drivers of passenger vehicles will take that space. If a CMV must stop quickly, usually the passenger vehicle will take the brunt of a collision. Educating drivers about the hazards of CMVs will lower the amount of fatal accidents that occur between CMVs and passenger vehicles. A CMV's large size poses numerous Hazards for passenger vehicles. CMVs have numerous blind spots and cannot make sudden maneuvers or stop instantly. CMVs pose numerous hazards, but with a little education, these hazards can be lessened. Most of the fatal accidents that occur between CMVs and passenger vehicles are preventable. Driving smart around CMVs will save lives and make the job of the driver easier and safer. I will now take questions from the audience.
If CMVs pose such a hazard on the road, then why would they be allowed?
CMVs are the easiest, most cost-effective way to get goods from the supplier to the receiver. All of the items that are purchased at stores throughout the U.S. are brought in by CMVs. If you bought it, a truck brought it.
If a CMV has 18 wheels and 10 brakes, then why does it take so long for it to stop?
A CMV has 18 wheels and 10 brakes. However, that does not shorten the stopping distance required. A CMV, because of its size, weight, and road conditions, will never be able to stop as quickly as a passenger vehicle.